It might be a stupid question, but how does a farmer farm? It's a confusing question given that it seems so simple, but let's take a crack at it. If a farmer wants to grow something, he probably needs land, and he calls this land a farm. Farm in this case is a noun, but what he does with the land is farm, which is a verb, to farm. The farmer first needs a farm to farm, and on this farm he has a duck. Stop. But if the farmer wants to farm his farm, he needs to make the farm farmable. In order to do that, he needs to till the land, loosen up the dirt, and remove anything that might prevent the crops from growing. He might also add something like fertilizer, so when he adds seeds, they have something further to feed off of, so they grow strong and fast. Another ingredient would be water. Depending on how close the land is to a freshwater source, the farmer might need to add machines that would water the land and keep the dirt from drying up and killing the crops. At the same time, you don't want to drown the crops, so you need a healthy balance. Same deal with the sun. You need it, but not too much and not too little. You don't want to grow corn in a cave, but too much sun can dry it out and kill it. But the very last part is the seed. The farm is now farmable. Add the seeds and watch it grow. Or not, because the entire time the farmer farms the farm needs constant upkeep. Check the dirt, the water, the seed, the fertilizer, the sun, the plants. Sometimes you need to add pesticides to keep bugs from ruining the plants before they're ready to eat. Everyone thinks the farmer makes crops grow, but any good farmer will tell you you can't make crops grow. You have to create the conditions that are favorable for crops to grow, and the best conditions yield the best results. When you go to school, 3 subjects are stressed more than any other: math, science, and English or literature. Not that I'm saying these subjects aren't important, but how many mathematicians, scientists, and writers do you know in your close group of friends? And not that these skills don't translate into other jobs, but what things are major parts of who you are that have nothing to do with math, science, or literature? Maybe you dance, maybe you sing or play an instrument, maybe you're a photographer or are active in sports. Maybe you're an artist, maybe you design clothes, maybe you code web pages, or even video games. Maybe you're a stay-at-home parent. And if you're one of these people who do one of these things, how much of what you know now was learned while you were in school? How important did those things that you enjoyed and excelled at seem while you were in school? Did anyone take notice that you were particularly good at taking pictures or making dresses, and then change your classes to help nourish those skills? Or instead of putting focus on what you're good at, were you told that you had to be better at the things you were bad at? Were you told that this idea of designing video games wasn't practical and that you need to brush up on your geometry and English because currently you were failing both of those classes, and if you want to get a real job, then you need to get good grades in those subjects? Put the computer down and pick up your copy of Scarlet Letter. Were you discouraged from putting time into something you were good at because you were told that it would make life harder for you even if you got really good at swimming or playing guitar? That you wouldn't make any money, that you wouldn't even have a chance at a real job? The farmer knows he can't make crops grow. He can only create the conditions that are favorable for crops to grow. What would happen if we changed the way we looked at education? What if instead of highlighting the things that children don't excel at, we find a way to gear their courses toward the things that they love and do well in? What if we didn't dash the hopes of being a concert violinist for the Baltimore Symphony because it's a tough job to get and the chances are really low and you'll be wasting all that time for nothing when you could have learned how to use the Pythagorean theorem? What if we create conditions that are favorable for kids to become whoever it is they're supposed to be? Every subject in school is important, but not every subject is as important for every child. A voracious reader with no interest in chemistry shouldn't be penalized for failing to learn that the atomic number of barium is 56. The best contemporary dancer isn't going to be judged on the fact that they know gravity is a constant 9.81 meters per second squared. A guitar solo is not less cool because the person playing it has never read The Lord of the Flies. Every person is completely unique. The talents we have are vast and extraordinary, but the way the world currently looks at education is that every child must be capable of doing the exact same things. And if they're good at something outside of that, it does not matter because it will not help you later in life. Education should and needs to change, but that process will be arduous and painful. So what can anyone with small children do? You can pay attention. Pay attention to when your children's eyes light up. Pay attention to when they're completely focused on something and won't break that concentration unless they are forced. When you see these moments, think of the farmer. Check the soil, test the water, add fertilizers, protect the plant with pesticides. Let them know it's okay to not be good at everything and that it's perfectly fine to be really great at one thing. Help them realize that you can make a living at anything, especially the things you love. E-I-E-I-O.